You're watching Experience Comic Culture and Sales, streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
You have a long title book this time?
I do.
Oh my goodness. Hi guys, I'm Jenna. I'm sharing and liking.
Hello, I'm Alfie, and these are my horrific little babies.
I got new earrings too.
Yeah.
We were at a con. Oh, I forgot her name. She was amazing.
I don't know her name, but her company is Spooky Alien Queenie, Kweenie. I only remember because I ordered more stuff from her last night.
So me and Alfie are being just a little slow today because we did the con this weekend. It was a big con this weekend. We did lots of stuff this weekend.
I have to do more stuff this weekend, and then the weekend after, and then the weekend after that.
This one was crazy though. Ed Weird's first in the house. Good for him. Do you want to go first?
Sure, I've got 1 or 9 books. So.
Welcome back, Ed. Love the t-shirt, lawyer.
Oh, thank you.
For the win.
I've only worn this shirt 1 or 9 times.
I think every time you wear it, he says he likes his shirt.
I mean, it was on the ground and it smelled clean, so that was the shirt that I wore today. Why would I put my clothes up when the ground is there?
I know.
Okay, so I'm going to start us off with The Riddler, Year 1, and it is book 4. I believe it's a mini-series of 6 issues, so we're almost done with it. And the whole series is a direct prequel to Matt Reeves' Batman, the one with Robert Pattinson, and it's by Paul Dano, and the art is by Stephen Subic? Subic. But this particular issue focuses on like his actual childhood and just how he was like a little weirdo as a kid and how he got into math and riddles and like how the death of how the death of Thomas Wayne and Martha Wayne affected him as well, because Thomas was like, dude, we're gonna like give a lot of money to the orphanage and stuff, it's gonna be great. And maybe one day you'll work for me at Wayne Tech. And then, the Riddler's all like, oh no, he died. But he promised. So yeah. It's tough. It was really good. I really love the art in the series. And there's even like fun little riddles for you to solve if you can count the alphabet.
There's only 26 letters. It should be pretty easy to count the alphabet.
Yeah, but you gotta know where the letters are. Like, what's the 13th letter of the alphabet? So you gotta think about it.
Of which alphabet, though? There's a couple of alphabets in my head.
This one. English. That's the word.
Isn't it like G or H?
No.
No, I'm deeply wrong. I'm so very wrong. Like a lead balloon, I would imagine. Oh, God. I'm going to drink some water.
But yeah, good stuff. Highly recommend reading The Riddler. I was kind of skeptical just because it's by Paul Dano and I didn't know that he wrote it all. But he's like, yeah, I want to expand on my character. So yeah, good stuff.
I've been noticing that lately where actors are actually doing really good, like, comic books. Because Keanu Reeves is helping write Berserker, and that's pretty good.
Yeah, but he's like a Renaissance man. He can do whatever he wants. Oh, by the way, guys, I just decided to write a new app for a phone. Why? Just because
I'm Keanu Reeves. Yeah. Because I can.
And it's going to be the best thing you've ever had.
I'm the chosen one.
Yes. If you flip the letters around a Neo, it makes 1. Whoa. Tubular. Pick a book.
Okay. That's hilarious. This is called Deep Cuts. It is the Deep Cuts. It's from Image. Look, they broke the eye in Image. Here's Deep Cuts. Number 1. It's a thick book. It's really thick. It was really good. So it's about this kid who likes to play his clarinet, and it's set in the bingo, J for the win. Okay. Oh my gosh, when was it set? 1917.
New Orleans.
I don't know why I wrote it down. It's on the cover.
It's on the cover.
So it's jazz. And it does have like the kid can hear like music all over the place, and he goes to this nightclub and he starts playing, just randomly playing, and like, get out of here, kids. He was like, fine. And he goes outside to an open window and he starts playing, and they're like, get out of here, kid. And he's like, no, I'm good. Like, listen to me play. I'm so good. And the main dude's like, hey man, come play with us. And then he's like, hey, you wanna play this? You wanna come to this gig with me? Here, hold my equipment. And he's like, all right. And then they go to this, and this is like a main thing. It is actually a whorehouse. That's what they call it.
Okay.
Can I say that on camera? I just did.
Brothel.
Brothel. Listen, they were yelling that word all over the book.
Brothel.
Just so you guys know.
We're a family-friendly show where we talk about brothels.
There was a lot of nudity this week.
There was
a lot of nudity this week. I think that was the theme. And so the guy is just like, is that jazz at the oh my gosh. So he goes with him to this brothel, and he starts playing with this piano guy, and like nobody's listening. And so the guy dips out because he stole a gig from Two-Tone Tommy, or whatever his name was. And
Tommy Two-Tone?
Maybe, I don't know, something like that. And then they go, are you gonna look it up? You're amazing.
Continue.
And then, they leave, so he starts playing, and like the pianist is like, oh, you can read music, cool, keep going. I don't care what anybody says, that isn't right. Claim. Oh my god, Edward. That's like 5 or 6 different books you'll have to claim with the show next. Anyways, so he's there, he's playing, and then they're there like for a week, and he only got $1 for it. And then, they started playing their own music. The kid was like, hey, I wrote this, and he hands it to the piano guy, and he's like, oh, this is awesome, we're having so much fun playing and stuff. And he's like, oh yeah. And then the main bar guy is kind of like, hey, why don't you you save up your wages that you're getting every night from us and go do awesome things. Nice, thanks, that's awesome, hearts. And so he's like, hey, save up your wages for things. He's like, wages? What wages? And they're like, we've been paying. You guys are like 5. You guys are getting paid. That's that. They had that moment in that book. They're like, you're getting wages? He's like, yeah, it's supposed to be $5 a night. And he's like, I got $1 for the whole week. And they're like, darn you, other dude. And then he goes and confronts the other dude at his house. And then Two-Tone Tommy shows up out of the shadows and just like, this is what you get for stealing my things. But the kid never saw anything happen. So now we've got a murder mystery.
Oh.
And everybody I don't know if everybody's going to think the kid did it, because the kid was the last one seen going to his house. But now he's playing awesome jazz with his clarinet all up and down the city. Oh, and his mom's not happy that he's playing at a brothel. In fact, she was screaming the W word all up and down the street because that's where he was the whole night.
Oh.
Like I said, it's a thick book. They got a lot in there.
The W word isn't winning.
Winning. I like it. Yes.
Woo.
Woo. Woo.
Not certain us.
Like I said, we're just a little off today. We had a huge con we did this week.
Well, off more than usual.
Yeah.
Because we're a little off normally.
Kenneth, what's up?
Okay. So we continue. Sins of Sinister Dominion.
Oh gosh, now we have an actual number 1.
Yeah. Number 1. I don't know how long this is going to keep going. So Sinister is big mad at himself because, he created his own heck. And Moira is in the picture now. She's like the original Moira, not the machine.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, man, we need to reset this. Like, I didn't volunteer for all of this. Like, we need to reset the machine. And he's like, no. I need to upload, like, the the data from the last 1,000 years, or else it's just gonna repeat again.
Oh my god.
And then he's like, and then he uploads and he tries to reset, and then he's like, he's like, okay, well, maybe I can become God. Like, that'd be pretty sweet.
Wasn't he already God and got bored?
No.
Oh, okay.
So he's like, you know what, I can create my own dominion. And then he's like, oh no, there's already a dominion in another timeline. Because of course there's more timelines. But everyone is big mad at Sinister. And they're like, we gotta start this over again. And like another Sinister from another timeline is like, oh no. And he gets put on trial by the council, and they're all like, you're big dumb. And he's like, no, I'm not that Sinister.
Wrong Sinister, bro.
I'm the other Sinister. The other Sinister is doing more stuff. You need to get him. And they're just like, whatever, Sinister. Be quiet.
Sit down.
Simmer down. We're sick of your garbage. So he's just a big old goofy goober. And so time is being reset again.
Fringe benefit. Oh my gosh, that's great. Like, this whole roller coaster with Sense of Sinister has just been...
It's been a ride.
It's been a ride.
Everyone's big mad.
Ugh.
Sinister's big dumb.
Let's take it to space now.
P.I. Nacho.
P.I. Nacho. This is Grimm Space, P.I. Nacho. This is part of the series of one-shots that's going on. I can't remember what the last one was, but this one is about the Pinocchio storyline, but set in space. So it opens up with Pinocchio over here. He calls him Pinocchio, so I don't know why they were calling him P1. Anyways, the blue fairy is actually an alien who takes him, and it's like the fox who keeps him. And he's like, we had a deal. You'd make me a real boy if I performed for you. And she's like, well, I don't make deals with robots because you're not actually a child. You're a robot. So now you're mine. And he's like, wait till my dad hears about it. She's like, not where I sent him. And he's like, no. And then he uses his robot brain to take the ship somewhere else. And then they get eaten by this giant eel-looking parasite that's just in space, who's big mad that there's not more spaceships and people for it to eat. And then they come out of the ship, and there's not happy kitties. Not happy kitties. These kitties are like
all cats.
With like 6 legs. They look like spider cats, and there's no fur. And that right there, I was just like, no happy kitties. Why? No, not happy. Like, I love cats. Those are not happy cats. But they're the parasites that live inside the giant space worm parasite. So now the blue fairy and all of her people are fighting them. They accidentally explode everything. And she's like, no, I'm supposed to make dreams come true. I'm the blue fairy. Blah. Oh, and all of this started because she was sleeping with Pinocchio's dad.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yep. But it's a one-shot. It completes the story of all that stuff. The happy kitties are in the brothel. Oh, my God. Oh. Alfie, please go. Please pick something. Please.
All right.
Oh my God.
Well, all right. Well, this has got a cat. So this is from the Sandman universe, Nightmare Country, The Glass House, and this man looks like Mads Mikkelsen, and no one can tell me otherwise. Why is Hannibal on this cover? He wasn't even in this book. Okay, anyway, so there's this man. He wants to get promoted at work, and his boss is always like, hey, we're all going to the bar. And so every Thursday, he's like, yeah, I go to the bar with my boss, hoping that he invites me to the second location. Because, like, once you get invited to the second location, you're, like, set for life. Like, you're promoted, you get whatever big deals and clients and all that stuff.
I thought we were always taught not to go to a secondary location.
Well, when you're a man and you're trying to get promoted, it's fine.
Oh, sorry. Going on 9.
So yeah. And at this second location, it's basically, it seems like it might be hell, kind of, where you sell your soul.
Don't go to secondary locations, guys.
And don't work in finance. Because you'll end up selling your soul.
Hey, wasn't it a finance office and the exorcist can never die? That was all demons?
Yes. No, that insurance. But yeah, so at the second location, you kind of get whatever you want. Just whatever you picture in your mind, you get it. And and I think the Corinthian is trying to be like, this location seems off. But I'm having trouble following these guys into this location. This is big weird, and I need to figure this out.
Maybe because he has no eyes.
Well, he wears sunglasses.
Just to cover his mouth eyes.
I think they're just normal.
I wonder if they have tongues.
Maybe. Actually, I think they do. Yeah, I think you see them.
Okay.
Because they're all talking and whatnot. But yeah, it's pretty good. I'm excited, and I need to read the previous Nightmare Country things.
And then everything Sandman Universe is so good.
Yeah.
More nudity, shall we? More nudity.
There is nudity in this one too.
There is nudity in that. Nice.
Because of course there is.
So this is only half nudity. This is Guardians of the Galaxy, Bane of
My existence. They're like little babies, and they're squishy, and you can move their heads.
That's adorable. Yeah, it's the Bane.
Baby.
It says number 1, but it's actually a one-shot. And my question is, why are all the dudes in this topless? Like, that's my number 1 question.
Get the women in the comics.
Anywho.
Just wanted to make the Caribbean hot.
Love a good toxic man.
Yes.
So we have the Guardians. They're on this planet at these bars trying to figure out where this dude is, because this dude's like, oh, I'm going to use this giant battery and take over the universe. And yeah, they don't want that. So yeah. And then Nova shows up and he's like, oh man, I don't want that dude. It's fun to scream instead of so Nova shows up and he's like, I also do not want the dude to do the things. And so they all are teaming up to go take out the dude to do the things. And then their guide may or may not have gotten shot. I wasn't really sure about if he was shot or not. He was there and then he was on the ground and then he was not on the ground because he wasn't there anymore. So maybe shot? Maybe shot. It is a one-shot, so it wraps up the story in a nice, pretty little bow. Also, lots of topless dudes. Lots of topless dudes. Mantis and Gamora make a great team up for fights. That was cool.
But the main question is Rocket topless?
Yes.
Oh.
He loses half his Vader form.
All right.
I was not kidding. All of the dudes are topless by the end of this comic. I don't know how that happened. Your turn.
Okay. So, we'll do this. Blue Book, issue 3. Continuing the story of Betty and Barney Hill, not Rebel. So Betty and Barney, they're like having issues with their memories, and Betty's starting to have like huge panic attacks and nightmares at night. So they decide to use hypnosis to like maybe try to recover some memories. And they go through Barney's first, and in the next issue they will cover Betty's, and at the end it's like, oh, and her stuff is even weirder. And then in each issue they also have a secondary like little story that's like a myth or a legend from something else. And in this one they covered Tarare, Tarrare. This man who had an insatiable hunger, like eat a live cat type of hunger. Yeah, Jesus. I think he at some point traveled with a carnival, but it kind of mostly it talks about like it basically has his story going, but it's talking about the French Revolution. So yeah, and he lived a wacky life.
Don't we all?
Yeah, but we're not eating live cats or like silverware or glass for fun, and because we're hungry.
I'm hungry now. Let's talk about Darth Vader, Black, White, and Red, or toddlers. Now, come on now, act like a semi-grown up.
No.
The show's not the right show for that. I don't wanna. So this is 3 stories. Hold, please. The first story, there's a shootout with Vader, and so what happens is he goes to this place, and he's like, I'm here for info on this dude that you said we had. And they're like, oh, yeah, if you want him, you need to pay the price. And then he, like, throws them. And he's like, there, I paid it with your life. And he's like, I'll give you the info. He's in the grave that I dug in the backyard. Ah. And he's like, then you are rebel scum. And he's like, we're not rebels. And then a huge shootout happens. Apparently it's a part of a plan, maybe. So the second one is no words. It's a full story drawn and illustrated by Peach Momoko. Bloody well amazing. It was so beautiful. And it's about, I think she is somebody we've met before in these comics, but with this one, you don't really need to like read the others. And it's her having a vision of Vader being Vader. Yeah. Doing lots of killing, lots of not good things.
Taking the high ground.
Yeah. The third one is the rebels are trying to take a station that's going on right there. And they are all in this huge shootout. Everybody's getting shotted. And they still have this one doctor who had lost his wife and child on a shootout before. And they're like, it's up to you. And they throw him in there. And Vader's just like, wait, you ain't got to do this. So those are the 3 stories that are in this book.
Neat. Also, I think I'm going to have to do 2.
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, well, Edward's still here, so I guess we'll do the one with the really long title. Okay. This is...
Sorry, I was reading.
This is Count Dante, the unauthorized but sort of true story of the deadliest man who ever lived. That's the full title. And this gives like 70s exploitation karate film. That's what it gives.
Okay.
Which I love. I'm all about exploitation films. They're amazing. But
Edward, don't give away all my
basically-
secrets.
basically this dude saves another dude in the Vietnam War, and he ends up like training him in like karate and cool fighting styles and stuff. And he ends up like the dude that was saved ends up going home and lives his life for a bit, and until Count Dante comes back into his life.
Rude.
And is like, hey, what's up? I'm gonna train you in some more fighting, and we're like gonna take down the mafia for fun.
Rude.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I enjoyed it. It seems really fun. That Count Dante? I suppose so. I don't know.
Probably. That sounds right.
And I need to do another one real quick.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we both read this one.
Yes. Is that? Ooh.
You can show that on camera.
Okay. World Tree.
Full frontal. Warning.
Yeah. Definitely do not read around children. But it mentions 4chan, so you shouldn't read it around children regardless. Basically, from what I gather, a virus has been released and through the internets. And it's
the undernet.
Well, the internet.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
Undernet.
Whatever.
But it's got net. It's like their version of the dark web. They do talk about the dark web. But yeah, something has been released, and it seems like a couple people are like, this has happened before. We need to like stop this because this is kind of bad.
This is kind of our fault.
Yeah, and they're like,
oopsie doodle.
it might be too late. But yeah, and part of me maybe thinks that maybe the chick is the physical virus, or she knows something.
She does know something.
Something is going on.
My thing about
it's pretty
it,
cool.
she just shows up on her motorcycle, takes off her overalls, and just starts showing people screens and shooting them.
Yeah, I don't know that the nudity was necessary in this.
It wasn't.
But there you have it.
It was kind of weird there. So it starts off with her on a bed, like sending it somewhere. And then all of a sudden there's this teenager who just walks up to his neighbor and he's like, hey, look at this slice.
Yeah. Like you can see their face like glitch.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's like something that only people infected can see or if that's like a thing.
Yeah. Move on. Money shot.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Now I'm going to do it last. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Let's talk about Unicorn Vampire Hunter. This is a nonstop from Scout. So that means this is a #1. The next thing that they do is going to be the trade of it. So, no, nudity is always necessary. This is the way. This is the way.
I guess if you want to sell comic books.
This does not have nudity at all. In fact, it was quite lovely, and it's quite a thick book. And like I said, it's a nonstop from Scout, which means the next one's going to be the trade. So it opens up where we have, and yes, the kid's name is Jezebel. is living in a city that's kind of like going downhill. So her parents decide to send her to live with her uncle, who's a wizard, Harry, and also lives like in this open field and has like there's one rule: don't go into the dark forest. So what does the little girl do? Goes into the dark forest, and she's all like, and then this vampire is all like, "Hello there, child. I'm going to drink you dry," and then gets speared by a unicorn's horn.
Oh,
yep, really good. Also, come to find out, the unicorn is actually a prince who was best friends with the wizard when they were children's. Yeah. And he was kind of adopted by the prince's, dad. And the dad kind of like views him, the wizard, more of a son than.
Hold up the cover again.
Kind of views him more of a son than his own son. The unicorn has scars. The unicorn is killer. Really likes killing vampires. Kind of was stalking the wizard because that was his bestie. And he felt bad that they parted on not good terms. And then it was actually quite the lovely book. I would highly recommend this book. It was really good.
I do like unicorns, vampires, and wizards.
Oh, this was really good. I would recommend it to anybody.
I'm not down for hunting vampires, though. I think they should just be able to live their life.
Except for they were trying to eat Jezebel.
Yeah.
Look at her. She's just a chillin'.
I don't know her. She's just some Jezebel. Okay. So this is Pop Scars, number 2. And basically, Pinky, who is the person in the pink mask, wants to kill her dad. But a lot of people also want to kill her dad. Basically, anyone that's ever worked with him is like, yeah, I'm down for killing your dad.
Oh, yeah. Killing your dad sounds fine.
So they're all part of this freak group. Or freak crew, I think is what they call themselves. And you learn a little bit about Pinky's past. And she's like, they're all putting together clues and like figuring out like where to start on the killing and how to get to her dad and all this other stuff, because he's producing a new movie right now, all the fun stuff.
Go to the set and
slash
his throat.
Yes. But it ends with a killer orgy. So there is
killer orgy.
Yeah, so there is nudity in that book too.
We have a theme, ladies and gentlemen. We have a theme.
It's pretty cool. And the art is kind of similar to the cover, and it's very poppy. The colors are bright. It's neat.
That's not bad.
I like it.
Let's talk about DC RWBY number 3. I'm really enjoying the series. So we open up, we're at Arkham. All of the Grimm are kind of meshing together with the villains that are in there, because Grimm feed off of the like despair. And so since our world and the world of Remnant are kind of like coming together, which is the world of RWBY, they call it Remnant rather than Earth. It's kind of meshing together. So like the Joker is becoming a Grimm, like Two-Face is becoming a Grimm. Like it's just, they're all becoming the monsters.
Did you say that this is Grimm's fairy tales?
I'm getting to that. So they get back, the Bat family has now come back and I was like, hey, we have semblances now too. Look, I can inspire people. You're doing great. Woo, I'm doing great. Like that's what not Robin, I'm sorry, Nightwing can do. And it's just Alfred can just make anything appear, which is great to me, I think. And so
Great for a butler.
Yeah. And then so Constantine and Zatanna show up and they're just like, hey, what do you call them? Raffigans? I think that's what he called them. And Weiss is just like, what does that word even mean? What are you calling us? Like, yeah, we're teenagers, but like we do the killing of the Grimm. Like we are not
rapscallions.
That might have been the word. I can't remember.
Gutter snipes.
Hey. And so it was just, the whole worlds are like combining and together. And so they get taken to Themyscira, who happens to be kind of like all Wonder Woman and Themyscira, like they're all kind of like immune from what's happening with the worlds like combining. And come to find out, the worlds have done this before. They've touched each other before. That's actually where we get our Grimm fairy tales from.
Oh.
Yes. And so they're just like, well, we know the story is this with this Grimm. And then they're like, well, here's the fairy tale we have. Look how very similar they are. Oh my gosh, they're the same story, but yours has a happy ending, and with ours, the entire village died. Oh well, doop doop doop. Hey, and then Cheetah shows up, and then she has Grimm, and then people are fighting, and it's really good. I recommend it for anybody who likes kind of like a peppier side of DC, but also anybody who likes RWBY at all. And getting to hear kind of like how Themyscira has like their library and getting to learn the history of that was really cool too.
That's
neat.
Books. The Neighbors, Part 2. I really like the art on the cover.
I do too. I like the art.
It's spooky. So we kind of learned that this family, they initially moved to this like nice little quiet place, so that her partner could transition calmly without being in the city and dealing with the city. And now they're dealing with a possible witchy neighbor who's maybe doing curses.
Bro, take a nap.
And their daughter, well, his stepdaughter, but the wife's daughter, like blood daughter, she acting weird. May or may not actually be her. She's doing messed up stuff. It's fun. Well, not for them. It's fun to read, though. I like it because it's scary.
The scowies. Oh.
Well, not to me because I'm tough.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
but yeah, no, it's really good. I enjoy it.
Nice.
10 out of 10 would recommend.
Action Tank Volume 2, Number 1. What was really nice is they did a recap of what happened in the last trade, which was a very short series. I think it was only like 4 or 5 issues. So they recap it at the beginning, and they even call you out at the beginning. Like, yeah, we thought it was really nice to recap it, you know, because, I mean, we didn't need to, because you guys definitely got the books, right? And you bought one for your friend, too, right? Anyways, here's the story now. So we have the bird, the boy, and the unicorn, who's actually a general, and he's missing an eye. And they're in their ship, and they have now launched themselves from Pluto on the way home because the kid really wants to get home to get to his mom's spaghetti dinner, and he's really upset. I know, right? He's really upset he may be late for dinner, and then all of a sudden this giant, like, galaxy warlord's ship shows up, and it's just shouting, "Shoot them out of the sky!" And they can't tell at all what's going on. And also the glasses that he's wearing on the cover, they actually show him everything he looks at. So if he looks forward, he can see like, oh, that's Neptune, that's Jupiter. Earth is right in front of us. Like, I know where to go because I can see just everything in front of me. And he's like, oh, you got to try it once you see with your eyes. Well, I mean, whatever. It is done by Scoot, which means it is a kid's book. It was very adorable. The art is the same as on the cover. And the warlord may or may not have shot them. They may or may not have to crash land on another planet that's completely hostile. Was it on the other paper? I think it was on the other paper, and I don't know where that paper went. I am losing my mind.
Well, I'll have to read the book to find out.
Oh, did we mention that World Tree is set next year?
Oh, yeah, it's set next year. Oh, and it also opens with a quote from I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, which I feel pretty much sets the tone for this entire series.
Yeah, so, but this is kid-friendly, so no nudity, unless you count the bird. But it was a bird, so it's okay. Neptune, that's what it was they had to crash on. They may or may not have to have crashed on Neptune. And we all know Neptune is a deadly, deadly atmosphere. So I'm excited to see what they're going to do next with that.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Okay, and I think I'm also going to have to do 2 books again. I've got a lot of books.
I've got 1, 2 left, don't I? Yeah. Okay.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes, do 2.
Yes.
You got this, Bill.
Okay, this is called Parting Ways. Which I will say, for me personally, not really my cup of tea, because it's romance. And it talks about these 2 people that meet in a coffee shop, and, you know, they hit it off, they start dating, but they might have different values. She really doesn't believe in war, but he's like, yeah, dude, I want to be a medic in the war.
Oh, it's a nonstop, too.
Yes. So, they're kind of deciding on whether or not they will actually stay together or not, and what's gonna happen. Like, a relationship, but the war. The war. Which
war.
one, I don't know. But yeah,
All the wars.
I mean, it's romantic. So if you're into that sort of thing, I just prefer, if there's going to be romance, I need it to be spooky.
Yeah.
Like, someone needs to be dead.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Dead Boy Detectives, issue 5. So, if you don't know Dead Boy Detectives, about two dead boys who are detectives. Detectives. But yeah, so it's, it's in the title. But they're trying to figure out why there are a bunch of Thai ghosts and why everything is weird and what's happening and who's summoning this. Like, why is this happening? And they're getting close to figuring all that out. But weird stuff is happening because it's ghosts. It's pretty cool though.
Nice.
10 out of 10 would have recommend, and it's Sandman universe, so.
Oh shoot, that's a nonstop too. Did I say that?
Yes.
Yeah, I did. Okay. Is that one?
I don't know.
I don't think so. All right. My next one is going to be, as you keep requesting it, Money Shot comes again. Number 1. Oh my gosh, where do I even start with this one? I love Money Shot. This is a great series. I have a lot of fun watching it. It's picking up kind of where we left off in the last series. So 2 of these scientists that were part of, or the Triple Explorers is what they call themselves, are together and wanting to have a relationship where it's just the 2 of them. And also Little Shot can't do anything except for sit there looking at the wall counting flowers, because they have actually set up this whole like thing where they themselves now don't have to go out and do all the recording and stuff. They have like a channel now where it's like you could do stories, you could do just straight boning, you could like when you read this, Alfie, you will understand why I'm having trouble finding the words.
I know.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I haven't read it, but I know it's Money Shot.
I love Money Shot. Everybody knows our favorite giant emoji tentacle gods have come to Earth, and they're just like, yo, F Earth. We're sick and tired of you guys. We're done with it. Like, why are you doing this? And they're just like, we don't know what you're talking about. Why are we doing what? And they're like, your scientists launched a bunch of ships and all but one destroyed themselves in the atmosphere. Now this one dude has like made like drones so that way people now need to have money and stuff. Like, made it, capitalism has been introduced to the solar system and it's spreading. Stop it. And the original group's kind of like, nah, man, we don't care. But then they find out they're actually not making any money. They're actually losing money and they don't have any monies left. And so they're like, oh, okay, we're going to do it. We're going to do it right now. Okay, we're doing it right now. And they're like, F you, we're done with this. Take care of it or we're going to take you guys out. And yeah, I do have to say, they go to their own like little mid-space station, and you have things like Iron Man and Sailor Moon and like all these other like just side to the side. It wasn't actually Sailor Moon because it was in different colors. It wasn't actually Iron Man because he was in also like,
it's enough to not get sued by Disney.
Exactly, it's enough to not be sued. And exactly, oh my gosh. And so what I thought was really funny at one point, because the last time they met their favorite emoji tentacle dudes, when they had the boning time, they got superpowers. And so one of them, the main chick right here, she takes off her clothes and she's like, I'm ready for superpowers now. And they're like, no, do this yourself. You called me a bulb and I don't like that. So yeah, now they're going to have to figure out how to come up with the money and the power to get all the way to the solar system and just be like, you there, stop. And then an Archie character shows up and is just, it's a lot of, G-rated. You kept that thank you. I tried very hard. I tried very, very hard to keep that G-rated.
G for grown up.
Which is not me at all. All right. You got 2?
I've got 3 books left.
Oh, okay.
Brain not working.
Okay.
this is Dawn of DC, Green Arrow.
Dawn of DCs are pretty good.
And so there's kind of like, it tells you a little bit about Green Arrow at the beginning if you don't know. So if you don't know anything about Green Arrow, you'll learn a little bit of something. And it starts with him washing up on a beach, and he's just like, why does this keep happening to me? And there's, you know, there's a family reunion. And Red Arrow is like looking for his daughter, and he finds her, and then it's like, oh no, I have to disappear now into another universe. Because of course there's a multiversal teleporter that Green Arrow is in that universe, and she's just like, can't we just tell my dad what's going on? And he's like,
Nah, we're good.
And then in the other universe where she came from, there's also Green Arrow there, but it's his son and all that stuff. So yeah, fun stuff. Multiverse, teleportation,
Family reunion.
Yeah. It's a nice, wholesome family reunion.
With probably a heads and tails. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do my last book.
Okay.
This is my last book.
Right. We'll do 2.
Okay. This is Alien #1 with a crossover between Marvel and 20th Century Studios. I loved this book. It was so good. All right, so it opens up with a family on an ice moon set in 2195. They're drilling in the ice, trying to get stuff. Just you know, soon-ish. And they're drilling in the ice, and the mom is pregnant. She's sick and tired of... Hey, Slipknot, what's up? She's sick and tired of being in the ice. She'd already called in that they had found something kind of when they were x-raying, and that's why they were digging down. And so the daughter, like, they've dug this big hole, and the daughter goes down, and what does she see? What does she? She sees a frozen face hugger. A frozen face hugger. So what is her next thing to do? She's like, oh, that's nifty. Let me cut it out. Don't cut if you leave it. It's frozen for a reason. Let it stay frozen. But no. She cuts it out. She puts it in her backpack. She takes it up to the ship. And her mom's just like, I'm calling it in. And then all of a sudden the Weyland-Yutani giant ship is going to show up and be all like, hey guys, let's team up together so I can take your stuff. Haha, you may have found something. If you find something frozen, leave it frozen. Same with viruses. Same with a face hugger. We don't need no xenomorphs around here. Keep it to yourself. Leave it alone.
You realize that if they did that, then there wouldn't be a comic book, because it's like, oh, there it is. Okay, end of comic.
Yeah, that'd be fine with me. That'd be fine with me. Like, oh, look at that. That is a face hugger. That looks dangerous. Oh, there's something like it's frozen in its like jumping form. It got froze in its jumping form, and it also had the thing coming out of it. So it's like, oh, that looks dangerous. She even said that doesn't look too good. I don't think that's a good thing. This is a new species that I don't like. I'm gonna cut it out and bring it up to the surface. And what happens to ice when it's out? It melts.
Yeah, and then you get Brendan Fraser, and it's really awesome. Like an Encino Man.
That would be great, but this is not that moment.
Then you get to be buddies with Pauly Shore and Sean Astin.
That would be awesome, but this is not that moment.
I think it might be.
Because you keep getting flashes. So throughout the book, there's just like a panel per page where it's just kind of like, you know that dome head that xenomorphs begotten?
Yeah.
And then like the first flash you get is just one dome head, and you can't tell if it's frozen or not. So I don't know. Are we about to have a whole team of xenomorphs just like unleashing heck on this ice planet? I mean, they got plenty of people to eat now because the giant Weyland-Yutani ship showed up.
That's fine.
It's going to melt and eat that little girl.
No,
it's going to. Hey,
It'll,
Pablo.
It'll melt, and then it'll go to high school, and it'll be a fun time.
Frozen. No.
It's hot.
Oh gosh. I love Xenomorphs. The whole thing of it is actually my favorite. So what you're saying is we need Brendan Fraser in an alien movie. Sign me up. Yo, Debs. I second that. What'd you miss? If you find a frozen alien or bacteria or virus, leave it alone.
No, it's fine. That sort of thing is how we get mammoth meat now.
No. Okay, your 2 books. Well, I'm just leave it alone.
Giant, delicious mammoth meatball.
Let it nap in the ice.
It's not napping.
Leave it alone. Mummy aliens. Isn't that kind of what the first AVP was like?
I've never seen it.
Oh,
I've only seen the first Alien movie.
everybody dies.
I've only seen the first Alien movie. And that one clip of her throwing the basketball. And that's my experience with Alien.
Okay, in the second one,
Spoilers, dude.
people die.
For a movie that's like 20 years old.
It's older than that.
Okay, Tales of Vulcania. There's a volcano.
There's a volcano?
Well, there was.
Oh, okay.
There was like a war, and I guess to stop the war, someone dropped a bomb into a volcano. But then that created toxic clouds, and so some people became mutants, like they do.
As with tradition.
Yeah, and this chick on the cover, she like killed someone for his money,
As you do.
and now there's like a price on her head, and yeah, cool stuff, fun stuff. But yeah,
Rude.
yeah, it gives kind of like almost steampunky type of vibes,
Okay.
because it feels like the future, but also not the future.
Okay.
But yeah, it's pretty cool, and the art is pretty much like the cover. So
what you're saying is there's no ice, so we can't just leave stuff.
no,
alone.
because there's volcanoes.
Oh, okay. There's volcanoes.
Or there was a volcano. They made it seem like that the volcano's just gone down.
Oh, okay.
Or exploded.
It's done exploded now. It's done
It
skis.
exploded.
It's done skis.
But yeah. So there's a price on her head, and things are happening. So she's probably going to be on the run.
Rude.
And then for my last book.
Hold on. Why?
What? As your attorney, look away from the screen.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
we don't
I was just trying to catch up all the comments. We don't have time.
We don't have time.
We don't have time.
You're going to cause us.
Okay.
Local Man, issue 3. I really like this series. It's pretty cool. It's about a man who got fired. He was a superhero, but now he's not allowed to be one.
Oh yeah, I like that series.
Yeah, it's really cool. And so he's trying to figure out who murdered Hodag, who I guess was like a villain at some point. But yeah, he's trying to solve the murder, but it seems like other people are going to die. And the woman on the cover seems like she was like a villain at some point called the Fright. And she looks to have like an elder god inside of her because it's got the cool little eyes and stuff. It reminds me of one of the gods that you could worship in Eternal Darkness because of all the eyes and the stuff. But yeah, she may or may not die. But I don't know how that affects the being that's living inside of her, or if it's gonna come out.
I'm free at last, free at last.
Yeah, and there's a puppy still, named Pepper, and he just keeps following the local man around. It's pretty adorable. Oh, and he ends up in the paper, which he definitely should not have done, but because he saved a priest from getting run over.
Rude.
Yeah. Lesson learned: don't save people from getting run over, or you end up in the paper, and then people are like, "Hey, we're looking for you." So
I forgot to mention something earlier. In Deep Cuts, they actually have the sheet music in the back of it for one of the songs that he wrote. Sorry, I can't believe I forgot that. I thought that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, what would you say your pick of the week would be? I think we all know my pick of the week.
It's kind of tough.
I know.
Because I really liked the Riddler. Please don't sleep on that series. It is super, super, super good. And the art is fantastic. And the Riddler is like my fave. So
It's my favorite.
World Tree, probably up there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited to see where that series goes.
Yes.
And also Nightmare Country Glass House because the Corinthians hot.
Yeah.
That's my reason.
Is it the extra mouths in the eye?
Yeah, it's just something about him.
40s.
He's mysterious.
I really like that they brought Money Shot back because it is kind of a way to do like a science funny, but like adult series. And a World Tree. Don't sleep on World Tree. It technically came out last week, but all copies were to be destroyed because of printing issues. So that's why it's finally coming out to a lot of shops. The cover A is. And I did really think, I really like that Image is starting to do cool things like that, like have the sheet music in the back of it. Because there was another series they did that had, no, Aftershock did that, where it had chicken recipes in it.
Oh.
Right? Do you
Wow.
remember? It had like a spicy chicken recipe at the back of the book. But Alien was my favorite book.
Because of course it was.
It was well written though, but like at the same time, I literally, so we're sitting at the table and I'm like, don't do that.
Hold on. Jay, The Mighty Barbarians actually came out like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I had already read it and talked about it on the show. It's the Arthurian one with the group that's getting together to save the world because the king's like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Reprint, sorry. Chicken devil recipes. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad somebody said. They must have skipped it. I thought it looked familiar.
Yeah, because I opened it up and I was like, this seems familiar. And then I saw the king must know what to do. I have no idea what I'm doing. I was like, oh, I didn't read this.
Yeah. So it was a reprint. We just had a little, I accidentally typed it in. That's my fault. I really liked what Grimm Space is doing. They're doing a bunch of one-shots of Grimm fairy tales going on.
P1, not you.
And then also the non-stops. I love non-stops. So we get the first issue and then we get the trade. I don't have to sit here waiting to read the story. I get the first issue and then I get the trade. It is lovely. And also Unicorn Vampire Hunter looks like it's going to shape up to be a lovely story with lots of depth between the wizard and the unicorn. Because as humans, they were besties. And now they're, as kids, they were the besties. And now they're going to be. Yes, there is. So this is actually issue 3. This is issue 3. It's really good getting to see Remnant and Gotham kind of like blending in together. It's definitely been interesting. Oh gosh, but yeah, that's Alien. Pick it up.
Oh, and I really did like Count Dante, the unauthorized but sort of true story of the deadliest man ever lived, because definite soft spot for like 70s exploitation vibes and karate.
Oh, it was just on Kickstarter? That's super awesome. They plan on doing it a one-shot for Source. Grimm Space and Unicorn. We're both Kickstarters. Wait, no, I didn't. Okie dokie. Whatever you see, whatever you say. I'm not sure. But I think we're both super excited for World Tree.
Mm-hmm.
I'm super excited for more Money Shot.
It does give me the urge, though, to look up all those old scary, like, oh, don't go on the dark web because we'll eat your family type stuff.
Wait a minute, I didn't hear that one.
Well, just in general, it puts me in the mood for creepypastas and like going down that rabbit hole of creepy 4chan posts.
Yeah. All right. Well, make sure you guys stick around. Jay, pop on and tell them what's next.
Shows.
Is it more shows? Are there more shows coming on now? Okay.
So we got Mint Hunter coming up next.
Nice.
And that's the last show of the night.
Oh, okay. So make sure if you're over here on the Experience, refresh your page or head over to watch Mint Hunter.
Like
for us, we'll be over on the CBSN for our sale show.
So like what type of mints? Are we talking like Andes or like Altoids?
I'm pretty sure like Thin Mints.
Oh.
I do love me a good frozen Thin Mint.
I know. I just don't like chocolate mints.
I do like Andes mints though. I freeze those. It's dark chocolate with mint in it.
You know what? The ones you always get at Olive Garden. For some reason, I don't like them, but it always feels nice to get one.
I know. Oh my gosh. So definitely stick around to get the mint that you needed after our amount of crazy on the show. Keep on reading. Yeah. Great night. And we'll see you guys over on the CBSN if you see us. If not, have a great night getting some mint on. Bye.